What's going on, everybody? This is about Aaron Ramsdale. Aaron Ramsdale, as you know, has taken the last three starts from Arsenal, although he played against West Brom. Can you really sort of say that that's a start? But yeah, he's had three clean sheets, and that's something which is in short supply at the moment as a Gunners fan. But I want to touch on base of why Arteta's actually done this, why he's pulled the trigger, and why he should pull the trigger with someone like Xhaka. Xhaka's come back from his ban, and a lot of people are saying, look, we finished last season with 5 wins in a row, and that Xhaka wasn't a part of that. We've now gone back-to-back wins in the Premier League, and Xhaka wasn't a part of that. So there's this big myth that, there's certain players that we have in the team that we need in there in order for us to move forward, and that's not exactly true. And the same applies to Bernd Leno. Now, we've always known, I've made it very clear and abundant to Arsenal fans. I know the argument has been that Leno has saved us from this and Leno saved us from that. And there's no discounting that he's a great shot stopper. I think he's a considerably good shot stopper, although he did let one in on his near post against Brentford, which didn't help him. And I did say that, the same thing happened in the Burnley game. Chris Woods came out right to his right, had the shot, and then there was a really good reflex save by Ramsdale on his near post, which again kind of proves the point that this is another area where Arteta feels he needs to upgrade. So looking at Aaron Ramsdale, guys, I just like his charisma. The fact that he loves where he is, the buoyancy in his behaviour, and he just loves where he is. And he's someone who's really appreciating the role and what he is given to the fans as well. You can see how infectious that is. And not just that, but I made a big thing about the commanding role of a goalkeeper. And that's twofold. It's how you act in your body language towards crosses and things like that, and what you say verbally in terms of your communication with your defenders. Now, against Chelsea, Man City and Brentford, there was zero communication. No organisation, very little done with the wall on free kicks. And when you've got something like that, when you lack a leader in the back, it really shows up on the field. And that's the reason why we talk about David Luiz being such a big role in our defence over the years. And now that's missing. Like, what now? Well, it seems like that's a solution that's been found with Aaron Ramsdale, because this guy is talking to his back four. He's communicating with them, and he's letting them know exactly what he wants. And that is very important. I know David Seaman made a comment about that earlier on. But let's take a look, guys. So this guy, as we know, he's been put into the Arsenal team because of Bernd Leno. Now, Bernd Leno, remember, guys, finished second in the Arsenal Player of the Season awards for 2019 and 2020 season. His performances, though, started to tail off last season, and mistakes were being made frequently. So for that reason, we kind of knew, look, Arteta knew he messed up with Martinez, and Arteta has been looking for a new goalkeeper. This was not a surprise to anybody. Although how he didn't keep Matt Ryan is beyond me. But then in terms of what he was looking for, Matt Ryan was average playing out of the back. He was average in terms of commanding his box. Would it have been much of an upgrade? Not really. But what it would have done is it would have steadied the ship. And because Matt Ryan was available for free, he was already an Arsenal player, you didn't really have to do that much to convince him to stay. So even now, I still think that's a bad decision, because whether he is your number one or your number two, what matters is that you've got you've got bums on seats that can actually get the job done. So Aaron Ramsdale, what is the advantage of him being in the team? So as I talked about on the Burnley live stream, when I spoke about Burnley knocking long balls over into the box, Barnes and Woods enacting their game plan to try and unsettle Arsenal. Well, they stopped that halfway through the game, and two reasons for that was obviously Gabriel's performance with his clearances, massive amount of clearances, and obviously the other one was the goalkeeper, Aaron Ramsdale. Now, Ramsdale, his starting position is way higher up the field than Leno, and what that does is you can see in this video that I've got here, you can see in this picture, but I've got a through ball coming in from Gareth Bale. This was last season. They play Gareth Bale on a through ball. You can see Ramsdale's already outside. So when the ball actually drops onto the ground, Ramsdale is there first. before Gareth Bale can get to the ball, and Ramsdale actually uses that opportunity to slot the ball into Stevens, which puts them in an attacking position. So he's easily clearing that threat, their defence, into an attack. And that's just because of him rushing out. Now, Bernd Leno didn't do this a lot, and because of this, you're nullifying a threat. The other thing that he's doing in terms of nullifying a threat is his positioning, his reflexes, and those safe hands means that he's extremely hard to beat. So we know in 75 games, he's only made 3 errors leading to goals. But when you look at Bernd Leno over 90 games, he has made 8 errors leading to goals, which in the last 3 seasons is more than any goalkeeper in the league. And that's nearly 3 times more errors than Aaron Ramsdale. So you can see there from a perspective of, is your team getting better? Are you improving on the position? Yeah? Is that position being improved on? So his save percentage, obviously, this season is also on a higher side because he's only one of 2 keepers in the Premier League to have registered a save percentage over 70% after facing 200 shots. There is a few weaknesses, yeah? Some of the weaknesses is he does leave himself open to being chipped because he's so low to the ground sometimes on saves, and he's out of his box quite a lot. But that's a coaching issue. I've already seen certain things change. They're working with him alongside to kind of refine some of the deficiencies he has as a goalkeeper. Now, because he's young, you can do that. Leno's 29 going on 30, and as I said, he was the most mistake-prone goalkeeper in the Bundesliga when he was in Germany. That's why he was dropped from the German team. But I think for Aaron Ramsdale, his confidence to come out and catch the ball is fantastic. I think at Sheffield United, he tended to come out and punch the ball rather a lot. But since he's come to Arsenal in his last 3 games, I've noticed he's catching the ball a lot more in unsafe areas like corners and set pieces. And both Leno and Ramsdale have had similar shot-stopping talents. But it's really the build-up play from the back that we're starting to see a big difference with Aaron Ramsdale using his feet a lot more. And his choice and his decisions are just very good. When I come to think about it, look at this picture here. So he's really deciding well in terms of knowing where to go with the ball, whether he needed to chip the ball over an opposing player trying to press him, or, you know, in terms to break the press, or whether just cool under pressure and knocking the ball sideways or out wide. It's his decision making under pressure, guys, which will go a long way into benefiting Arsenal. Now, you can see here, guys, Bernd Leno, this is last season. So Bernd Leno now, he's getting pressed. There's a 3-on-3, so you can see players pressing up now. Pablo Mari's under pressure. You can see Bellerin's under pressure. Xhaka's under pressure. But what does Bernd Leno do with those 3 options? He decides to slip the ball in to Granit Xhaka. Xhaka, weak clearance, deflects off Chris Woods, and then the score, the game is levelled at 1-1. Now, that incident could have been avoided with better decision-making from Leno. Yes, better choices from Xhaka, I admit. But when you think about Bernd Leno, had he had gone somewhere else with the ball, had he had gone wide right to Odegaard, then it would have been out of the danger zone and put Odegaard in a better position by placing a ball where only he could have received it. Instead, it's a mistake by Xhaka, and the ball is in the back of the net. So Xhaka and Leno are both to blame in that instance. And I think it says a lot in terms of where you are with your team right now. You need to take out those mistakes out of the team. And Bernd Leno had the most mistakes out of goalkeepers, and Xhaka's made the most mistakes out of any outfield player in the league. So if you annihilate those 2 things from your current team now, you're literally saving a ton of goals that you've let in over the years just because you're being competent, yeah? Just because you're playing mistake-free football. That in itself is worth a lot. When you look at the top 4 teams, not a lot of those teams are making these kinds of mistakes. So if you have any admirations in terms of making it that far, you need to annihilate those mistakes from your team. And that's the reason why you're hearing a lot of fans saying, look, you know, we don't miss Bernd Leno. I felt kind of bad for Leno because at the end of the Burnley game, you know, they were singing, Aaron Ramsdale, you know, he was singing songs, but I can't remember even hearing a Bernd Leno song. You know, I've been a season ticket for 13 years, and over the last 3 or 4 seasons where Leno's been in the team, I don't remember there even being a song. So it just goes to show you how the fans are reacting to Aaron Ramsdale. And I think that that's a really good sign. And I hope, because of these reasons, that we don't see Xhaka in the team against Spurs. I think you go with the winning formula and then you see what those guys have got. But let me know what you guys think about Aaron Ramsdale. Be interesting to hear your thoughts, and I'll speak to you in the next one. Peace out.